Moving on into the world of social media, a viral video showing a group of young children exchanging what is believed to be a greeting linked to the area confraternity has sparked widespread concern and backlash online. And now, in the clip that you're watching, these children are clearly seen performing gestures described by observers as resembling the recognized greeting that is used by members of the Eye cult. And several social media users who are familiar with the group's symbols and practices have claimed that these actions closely match those greeting signs that are used by older members. The footage has, of course, and rightly so, triggered serious public debate, with many expressing alarm that cultism may now be filtering down to much younger age groups. Critics say that this video highlights deeper concerns around exposure, influence, and the normalization of cult culture amongst minors. Well, currently, authorities have not yet commented on this video, but online reactions continue to raise urgent questions about protection of our youth and the spread of cult-related behavior. Let's take a look at some of those online reactions. Abiola Shodia says, "We lack child protection policy in this country. I call on every responsible agency to take this up because we cannot afford to degenerate further as a society. This has been going on for long, especially in the southern parts of Nigeria, where cultism has become a norm. Enough is enough." Stephen Gerard says, "This is deeply disturbing and must be condemned strongly. Cultism is a dangerous criminal and has destroyed countless lives in Nigeria. Parents and guardians must be held accountable for what children are being taught and exposed to. Normalizing cult symbols or greetings around minors is reckless and it is harmful. The police are right to investigate their parents for this. Intervention is necessary to protect those children and prevent a tragic future. At Police Nigeria, invite their parents." And Buchik says, "Disturbing and unacceptable. Children imitating cult greetings points to adult influence somewhere, either parents, guardians, or older siblings. The police should investigate calmly and thoroughly and prevent further indoctrination. Protecting children means holding adults accountable." Team, and now we know from a sociological perspective that, you know, in a child's formative years, what they're exposed to and the sort of socialization that they normalize plays a great impact, you know, according to the data, in how they will turn out. The reason why this is so dangerous, as you know, Mr. Showme, is not just because it's a greeting or it's friendly. It is because of the fact that we see so much bloodshed within cult groups, so much violence, so much bloodshed, unnecessary lives lost. And so these children, essentially, it's very worrisome. Who knows what will happen tomorrow? I'm at a loss for words.
Honestly speaking, I think the law enforcement officer should be interested in this. The social work department in whatever state this has been recorded should be interested in this, because it's probably the parents or some friends of the parents are involved in the Eye confraternity, and they shouldn't be exposing children to this. It's just like exposing children to smoking or taking substances. You know, that should not be allowed. They need to look into this and then look more carefully into the condition in which these children are being brought up. If they are being brought up in unacceptable situation, government should take over the responsibility for these children, at least for the time being.
I think for this one, the government really has to look into it. The child welfare whatsoever has to come to this, because I tell you something, these children, what they see, the child's memory is like a photo. Like what he sees, he has taken a picture of it and he'll try to, you know, emulate it, and that's what we're seeing here. And even, you know, I remember there was some time in Ghana, like there was a father that was always smoking in the presence of his child, and there was some point the child rolled the paper one day and acted like he was smoking, because what they see is what they want to try to do. They do not even understand what AA is. These children are just doing what they saw maybe their parents doing or their parents' friends doing, and that's why we need to be careful the kind of things we do when we know that we have children around us. But for this particular one, I think that the government should come in, the child welfare to come in, they should speak to the parents, investigate the parents, because if the parents are also part of a cult, they definitely have to face the words of the law, because the cult is a criminal offense. Absolutely. There's something we call cultivation analysis, you know, media violence. You know, some of these things, they either have seen it on television or on some social media, maybe someone streaming, or within the community
where all of these things, happen. So we need to find out exactly where this took place. We need to know the kind of living, the kind of lifestyle that they have there, the kind of the boda dugbo, quote unquote, the big boys in the society, in the community, what they do, because it takes a community to raise a child. But what if the community is corrupt? What if it's infested, with this confraternity, whatever they call it? Because they are known for no other thing than bloodshed. They are known for no other thing than fighting among themselves and destroying the livelihood of people. So we have to get on these as fast as possible so as to not make them grow wings as to disturbing the society.
Indeed, we hope to see the relevant authorities get involved and get ahead of this. Thank you so much, team. Still in the world of social media, popular Nigerian content creator Egungun of Lagos, whose real name is Kuye Adegoke, is trending again just days after facing heavy criticism over his interview with global streamer iShowSpeed. Following what many Nigerians described as an embarrassing exchange, questions were raised about Egungun's relevance and his depth as a content creator and lifestyle interviewer. Well, now, Egungun has shifted the conversation by unveiling a newly built mansion, officially becoming a luxury home owner. Now, the announcement came alongside recent family milestones, including the naming of his son, Prince Ademide Kuye, and his engagement to his longtime partner, Pashota. And in a reflective message, Egungun spoke about his journey from housing insecurity to property ownership, and he said that he chooses to focus on resilience, hard work, and showing up, rather than engaging directly with online hate and criticism. For a lot of his supporters, this mansion does symbolize the growing economic power of Nigeria's content creation industry and a reminder that online relevance sometimes will often outlive viral criticism. Very interesting. Manny says, this is straight fire. Haters gonna hate because they can't level up like this. Egungun just proved that success speaks louder than any interview slip-up or mistakes. He keeps inspiring the youth to dream big in Nigeria. Stephen Gerard says, buying a mansion worth over 200 million naira in Lagos is no small feat at all. Hard work, consistency, and grace clearly paying off. This is a loud reminder that focus and hustle can change stories. Wishing him more wins, bigger blessings, and greater heights ahead. When did you start to do woo-woo-woo? Ediri says, each time people come for their silliness, they post supposed achievements to shut people up that they are doing well in life anyway. That's their strategy, and it's working for them. Nigerians are so gullible. Now, team, we all watched the internet collapse yesterday over the arrival of global streamer iShowSpeed. And, people who had access to him essentially had digital capital. They had bragging rights in the content creation industry, Mr. Shomi. Egungun tagged himself the best lifestyle interviewer in Africa. And when he had a chance to interview Speed, the only question he had was, when did you start this woo-woo-woo?
Honestly, the internet, social media has provided a huge platform, for people to make money. Not only that, to conduct different forms of businesses. It has introduced businesses which we never had before, which are now money spinners. But the bottom line at the end of the day is I rejoice with Egungun, for this feat, but I will also remind him to remember Taiwo Yedele because now you have to pay tax on it.
True.
Very true. I need Egungun to understand that. We were criticizing him. That doesn't mean we didn't love him. And Nigerians need to get this. I would say that Egungun is someone that has risen from nothing to something. I admire his, consistency. I think that he's done very well with the niche of what he does. But you also need to understand when you make a mistake. Posting a house, congratulations to you. I'm happy. I'm proud of you. But that doesn't change the fact that you need to study more. You need to give us better interviews. I feel like oftentimes when we criticize people, they just want to post something. Okay, you bought a house, but that doesn't mean you didn't say what you said. That doesn't mean you did a great interview. So if there's anything I want from him, please learn more, do better. There are still going to be bigger stars. We want to see you do more, intellectual interviews. We know you started with the backside and everything, but you're growing. You're not going to do backside for the rest of your life. We want to see you, just have that kind of intellectual conversations. Congratulations on your house, but this doesn't change the fact that you said someone was 21 and the person was, well,
strong and healthy.
All the same, congratulations, Egungun.
Absolutely. Ibrahim doesn't want to comment on this, so I'm going to get back to my woo-woo-woo.
He's afraid of tax. He doesn't want the Google tax to reach him.
Thank you so much for your input, team. Still in the world of social media, because that is where most of us live, a man claiming to be the biological father of Super Eagles defender Calvin Bassey has gone live online, tearfully appealing for forgiveness and a reunion after nearly 18 years of separation from Calvin Bassey. Now, Kingsley Ikena Ugelumba says a long-running dispute with Calvin Bassey's mother led him to being cut off from all 4 of his sons when Calvin was about 6 years old. He claims that repeated attempts at reconciliation failed, including an effort to reach Bassey during his time at Leicester City. Have a look at this video.
My name is Kingsley Ikena. I want Nigerians to help me for what I saw in newspaper trending all around. I've never seen my children for a long time due to I got little problem with my wife. Immediately, they signed my son with football club. She moots everything about me. She doesn't want me to get access to my children again.
Now, Mr. Ugelumba says that the matter once reached a London court in 2008, where a judge advised both parents to settle privately, but he insists that his appeal is not about money, but simply a father's desire to reconnect. Well, Calvin Bassey, who recently impressed all of us at AFCON 2025, has not yet publicly responded, but we know from social media and his posts that he's thoroughly in love with his mother. Let's have a look at social media. King Goziegbe Odion says, sometimes these men mess up, cheat, lie or act wrong, and then suddenly they play the victim to dodge blame. How can you complain that your woman won't let you near your grown child? If you're disconnected from your adult kids now, that's on you, not her. Own your actions and fix the bridge that you burned. King Chi says, Kelvin is gradually becoming a man. By his 30th birthday, he will fully understand what manipulation mothers have on their children. His wife or girlfriend will show him a glimpse and he will understand what the father is facing. Time is just the answer. Just give him time. And finally, Y says, Oga, go and rest. You abandoned your own children, and now that they are successful, you want to claim them. Dear men, whatever you're going through in life, try to be in your children's life. Never abandon them, whether they be successful or not in their lives. Now, team, this is very interesting when we look at the fact that this is coming on the heels of AFCON 2025, although he did say, the alleged Calvin Bassey's father, that this matter actually went to court as far back as 2008. What I have a problem with is him blaming the mother for the severed relationship with his son. Calvin Bassey has been a grown man, an adult, for almost a decade now, and so I believe that he understands, what parent was there for him and was not. But I asked this question, Mr. Shomi, would he still be coming on live to say, I want to see my son, if he was a panel beater somewhere in Elisha?
Yeah, I mean, there's a saying that the fury of a woman's scorn is worse than that of a lion. Men has to be very careful in dealing with their relationship with women. Women are highly emotional, and we need to understand that that everything is not about critical reasoning, about logic. I mean, women have more connections, more relationship with children. I mean, that's a woman carrying the baby for 9 months. So that's one part of it. The other part of it is we don't even know whether both of them were married, because if you look at the son, you get Lumba for the man and Bassey for the son. So it seems clearly to me that maybe they were married, or they should be considered married under the common law, wife and husband in UK. But the bottom line at the end of the day is a child or a son deserves to see the father and the mother. It's in the best interest of the child or the both parents to ensure that there is a form of dialogue, a form of continuity rather than severing total relationship.
Yeah. This is family matter, so I'm not really going to put, my mouth a lot into it. But I don't know why people are blaming the mother. The mother has nothing to do with this. He's an elderly person. He knows what he's doing. We're talking about 18 years. You've not been in your child's life. And now, Olamide, you said something very vital. If he wasn't Bassey, would you still be looking for him? 18 years is quite a long time. I do not want us to blame anything on the mother. We all know what parents go through. I know he's very close to his mother for reasons best known to him, because I'm not in his family. But for a father, you do not look good coming out for 18 years. You're trying to reach out to your son. Why don't you reach out to the mother? Why don't you reach out to the son himself? Why are you bringing your family issues on social media? It actually doesn't speak well.
There's so many ways to look at it. This actually reminds me of also another story, similar story, of a man I met in the UK, Adara Bioyo, who is a father to one of the Chelsea rising superstar, Tosin Adarabioyo, he told me he used to drop his sons, at the, pitch, when they were training, in the UK. He's based in Manchester. We met at the high-powered, VIP section in Hampshire. So he told me a whole lot of things. But one thing I believe is, as parents, you owe duty. You owe so many duty to your children, and the children themselves. You also owe your parents, including your father, regardless of whatever happens between the husband and the wife. It has no business to do with you as a son or a daughter. You must pay your due respect to your parents, regardless.
Absolutely, team. There's three sides to every story.
Exactly.
His side, her side, and the child who was caught in between. Thank you so much for your input. Now, here on the TVC Breakfast Show, we